This is lesson 5-7, dividing fractions and mixed numbers. Cut 2 paper plates into 4 equal pieces each to show 2 divided by 1/4. How many 1/4 are in 2 plates? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How would you model 3 divided by 1/2? Well, here's 3 plates, each divided in half. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 divided by 1/2 equals 6. What is true about 3 divided by 1/2 and 3 times 2? Well, obviously, they both give us the same answer of 6. In one instance, it's the quotient. In another, it's the product. Dividing 8 by 2 gives the same result as multiplying 8 by 1/2. Here's 8 divided by 2 is 4. 8 times 1/2 is 4. 1/2 is the reciprocal of 2. In the same way, dividing 4 by 1/3 gives me the same result as multiplying 4 times 3. Again, 3 is the reciprocal of 1/3. Is this pattern true for any division expression? Well, in this expression, I have 7/8 divided by 3/4, which can be written as 7/8 over 3/4. This is a complex fraction used to show division. In this example, I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the reciprocal of 3/4, which is 4/3. You can see I've done that here. 3/4 times 4/3 is 1. So my denominator here, or my divisor, becomes 1. Leaving me 7/8 times 4/3, which you can clearly see is the same thing as 7/8 divided by 3/4. So 7/8 divided by 3/4 is the same thing as 7/8 times 4/3, which suggests the following rule. To divide by a fraction, multiply by its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. So 7/8 divided by 3/4 is the same as 7/8 times 4/3. A divided by B, A over B divided by C over D is the same as A over B times D over C, assuming B, C, and D cannot be 0. Three-fourths divided by 1/2. My estimate, 3/4 divided by 1/2. How many groups of 1/2 are in 1? There are 2, so my estimate is 2. I take my original expression, 3/4 divided by 1/2, rewrite it as 3/4 times the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2 over 1. I then simplify the 2 and the 4 by dividing by the common factor of 2. I then multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. I get 3 over 2, which I rewrite as the mixed number 1 and 1/2. My estimate of 2, clearly in agreement with my exact answer of 1 and 1/2. In example A, 3/4 divided by 1/4, well, it's obvious that my answer is going to be 3, so I don't really need to estimate there, I don't think. I'll rewrite it as multiplication by the reciprocal of the divisor, just to show you that it works. Simplify dividing by the common factor of 4. My answer is 3. 4/5 divided by 8/9. In example B, I'm going to round both of those to 1, so I'm going to say 1 divided by 1. My estimate's going to be about 1. I'm going to rewrite 4/5 divided by 8/9 is 4/5 times 9/8. I can simplify here and here by dividing by the common factor of 4. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator gives me 9/10, which then again is in agreement with my estimate of 1. Example C, 5/6 divided by 2/3. I'm going to round 5/6 to 1 and 2/3 to 1/2, so my estimate is going to be 2. Now, because I rounded the dividend up and the divisor down, I know that 2 is going to be an overestimate, so I'm looking for an answer that's a little less than 2. See what we get. 5/6 divided by 2/3 becomes 5/6 times 3 over 2. Simplify here and here by dividing by 3. I get 5 over 4, which is 1 1/4, and seems to be a reasonable answer. To divide by a mixed number, first rename the mixed number as an improper fraction, then multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal or multiplicative inverse of the second fraction. 2/3 divided by 3 1/3. Rewrite or estimate first of all. 2/3 I'm going to round to 1/2. 3 1/3 I'm going to round to 3. My estimate's going to be 1/2 divided by 1/3. A little tricky to see perhaps. I'm going to model it here. Here's 1/2. I want to know what 1/3 of 1/2 is. It's this much right here. And if I divide my other half into 3 equal parts, you can see clearly that it's 1/6. So my estimate's going to be 1/6. I rewrite my 3 1/3 as an improper fraction. Becomes 10 over 3. I then multiply by the reciprocal of 10 over 3, which is 3 over 10. I divide out the common factors. 2 and 10 have the common factor of 2. I then multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and I get 1/5, which is in agreement, clearly in agreement with my estimate. Example D. 5 divided by 1/3, I'm going to round that, the 1 1/3 to 1, so my estimate's going to be 5, but I'll know that that's going to be an overestimate because I rounded my divisor down. 5 divided by 1 1/3 becomes 5 divided by 4/3, which becomes 5 over 1 times 3 over 4, which gives me an estimate of 15 over 4, or an answer of 15 over 4, which is 3 3/4. Seems reasonable, knowing that 5 is an overestimate. Example E. Negative 3/4 divided by 1 1/2. Maybe the best estimate I can do here is that my answer is going to be less than 1. I could do 1 divided by 1. Actually, it'd be negative 1. Let's see what we get. Negative 3/4 divided by 1 1/2 becomes negative 3/4 divided by 3 over 2 becomes negative 3/4 times 2 over 3. Simplify here and here by dividing by 3. Here and here by dividing by 2. My estimate then is negative 1/2, which seems to be reasonable based on this estimate. 2 1/3 divided by 5, 2/5 perhaps is an estimate, which means my estimate's probably going to be a little less than half. So 2 1/3 divided by 5 becomes 7 over 3 divided by 5 over 1, which becomes 7 over 3 times 1/5, which gives me 7/15, which is a little less than half. Example G. In planning for a party, 5 1/4 pounds of cashews will be divided into 3/4 pounds bags. 5 1/4 divided by 3/4. My estimate here is going to be about 5. But again, because I've rounded my divisor up and my dividend down, this is probably going to be an underestimate. So 5 1/4 becomes 21 over 4 divided by 3/4 becomes 21 over 4 times 4/3. Simplified by dividing both 4's by the common factor of 4. 21 over 3 gives me an estimate of 7. Seems reasonable knowing that 5 was an under. Students in a woodworking class are making butterfly houses. The side pieces of the house need to be 8 1/4 inches long. How many side pieces can be cut from a board measuring 49.5 inches long. To find out how many side pieces can be cut, divide 49.5 by 8 1/4. I'm going to use compatible numbers here, which are numbers that you can use to divide easily mentally. 49.5 rounds to 48. 8 1/4 rounds to 8, so my estimate's going to be about 6. I'm going to change both numbers to improper fractions. 49.5 becomes 99 over 2. 8 1/4 becomes 33 over 4. I then change to multiplication by the reciprocal of 33/4, which is 4/33. I simplify by dividing 33 and 99 by the common factor of 33. 2 and 4 have a common factor of 2. And when I finish simplifying and multiply out, my answer is 6. I can get 6 boards measuring 8 1/4 inches from a board, longer board, measuring 49.5 inches. Example H. Suppose a small box of cereal contains 12 2/3 cups. About how many 1 1/3 cups of servings are in the box? Well, I'm going to do 12 divided by 1, which is going to be about 12. That again, because I'm rounding down and down, should be a reasonably close answer. Let's see what we get. Change both numbers to improper fractions. 38 over 3 divided by 4 over 3. Change to multiplication by the reciprocal, which in this case is 3 over 4. Simplify here and here. Again, simplify these two by dividing them by 2. I get 19 over 2. 19 over 2 becomes 9.5. The area of a rectangular bedroom is 146 7/8 square feet. If the width of the bedroom is 11 3/4, find the length. So I would take 146 7/8. Divide it by 11 3/4. Let's see, 144 divided by 12 is going to be my estimate. It's going to be about 12. Some tricky multiplication here. Let's see. I'm going to do 146 divided by 8. I'm not going to try and do it in my head. 32 and 4 is 36. 1168 plus the 7 is 1175 over 8 divided by 47 over 4. 1175 over 8 times 4 over 47. Simplify here and here gives me 1 and 2. 1175 divided by 47 is going to be 2. 94 gives me 6. 23, 235 looks to be about 5. And how nice of them to come out evenly like that. Gives me 25 here and 1 here. Multiply, I get 25 over 2, which simplifies to 12 and 1/2. Very close to my estimate of 12. Way too much work there. We're going to do the odd numbers examples here because we've done several. 1/8 divided by 1/3, my answer is going to be less than 1 because divisors greater than dividend becomes 1/8 times 3 over 1. My answer is 3/8. 3 divided by 6/7 in example 3. 3 divided by 1, my answer is going to be about 3. Be a little more than 3 probably because 6/7 is less than 1. So 3 over 1 times 7 over 6, simplify here, make this a 2 and this a 1, I get 7 over 2, which is 3.5. Again, close to my estimate of 3. Number 7, 1/2 divided by 7.5. Less than 1/7. That would be my estimate. because I'm rounding this down, it's probably going to be less than that. I'm rounding my dividend down. My actual answer is going to be less than 1/7. 1/2 divided by 15/2 becomes 1/2 times 2/15. Simplify here and here. I get 1/15. Clearly less than 1/7. Number 9. Deirdre has 9 apples. If each apple is divided evenly into 8s, how many apple slices does she have? 7 divided by 1/8 becomes 7 times 8/1, which is 56. On Saturday, Lindsay walks 3.5 miles in 1 2/5 hours. What was her walking pace in miles per hour? I got 7/2 divided by 7/5 becomes 7/2 times 5/7. Simplify here and here. I get 5/2, which is 2 1/2 in miles per hour. At this point, you should quit the video. Go back to my Moodle page, log in to Lesson Quiz 5-7. Remember, your username is your student number and your password is your first 6 digits of your last name.